Hello there, my name's Neil David and I'm the host of Eurograps Express, the podcast exclusively dedicated to the wrestling of Europe. If it's wrestling and it happens in Europe and it's good, we talk about it. Whether it's Rev Pro, Progress, WXW, Passion Pro, Pro Wrestling Chaos, Pro Wrestling North, we don't care, we talk about them all. If it's good and it's exciting, I want to share it with you. We're on the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Check us out on the feed. Check us out on Twitter at EuroGrapsEXP. And join us for chat about European wrestling and a little bit of chat about cheese. Hopefully see you there.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Here we go! Kiss me like I'm love star. So I'm a cowrie. Whoa, kimi ga kata omoi. Namida no shitsurei mo. Give me two, give me five, give me double chatters.
You're listening to the Emerald Flow Show on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network.
Welcome to episode 57 of the Emerald Flow Show. We're a podcast on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network. You can follow us on X at Emerald Flow Show, and you can listen to us on all of your favorite podcasting apps. If you listen to us on Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review, and you can donate to the show by going to voicesofwrestling.com/donate if you're feeling generous, and any donation is greatly appreciated. I'm Gerard here with Paul. Paul, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. I actually got really sick after we recorded the last episode. I assume it's unrelated, but basically was like out for like a good chunk of last week. But no, I was actually kind of afraid. I was like, okay, if we had actually recorded early in the week, I would have been like, let's postpone it because my voice was still really rough. But now, luckily, I'm back to 100%.
Well, that's good. But Paul, let me ask you: Are you healthy enough to participate in some Bloodsport right now?
No, because basically I already was out of my training routine. I got a new training plan and then I immediately got sick. So I am completely in no shape at all to do Bloodsport. But ask me again in 6 months.
Well, so we'll just start off with that news. Earlier in the week, Josh Barnett did a press conference with Minoru Suzuki in Japan, and they announced that they're going to do a Bloodsport in June. I forget the date. However, Sumo Hall of all places. This got a lot of different responses, and I think one's response is based on one's feeling about all of this and shoot style. Paul, how do you feel about this?
I wouldn't have put it in Sumo Hall. I really like the idea, but I really would not have put the show in Sumo Hall. That could go really badly.
Yes, I'm very much looking forward to the show. I don't think it's going to usher in a resurgence of shoot style like some people's fantasies seem to.
I mean, what would a resurgence of shoot style even look like, given that every shoot style promotion has gone out of business?
I don't know. However, I do generally like the Bloodsport shows. I'm looking forward to this. I think there'll be a very interesting mix of people on this show. As I said, Minoru Suzuki was at the press conference. So, I mean, probably Hikaru Sato's not far behind.
Oh, definitely. He's a lock for this. I would be shocked if he isn't there.
Now, yes, people definitely took the idea at running Sumo Hall as like a bit of a shock and a surprise, but because like they probably see Bloodsport as backed by GCW, but I think Barnett could easily be getting like money from like some some previous money mark that gave money to Inoki or IGF.
And I mean, there are the photos of him in the Lidet offices.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He went to Lidet, so there's probably going to be great talent on the show. Maybe Soma Watanabe will get his face caved in again. But I don't
think he doesn't throw up.
I don't think Lidet would necessarily fund this just for Sumo Hall. I mean, maybe they're cooperating.
I mean, there was like someone kind of basically speculating that like Lidet had a second hold on a Sumo Hall date, and then after their last show it like drew a horrible number, they were like, okay, they were actually willing to just give this to Bloodsport instead, and that's where the connection comes from.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe it is just Lidet. I don't know, and I don't know if we'll probably never know who's actually backing this unless it's a massive success.
Oh yeah, then everyone will come out of the woodworks and was like, actually, it was me. Actually, it was Simon Inoki all along.
Well, we'll talk about him a little later, more. But yeah, I mean, I am looking forward to the show, and I think that, I mean, I would not fly. Well, I mean, I wouldn't fly. Well, I wouldn't bother spending the money to fly over that much American talent, to be completely honest with you.
Oh yeah, no. Like maybe the only person I would consider is like Mike Bailey.
Yeah,
for this.
I mean, Barnett for sure, obviously.
I mean, obviously Barnett is gonna be on there. Yeah, he's probably gonna like fight. Like maybe he's gonna do like Fatra. Actually, Fatra is another one I would actually fly over for this as well. Or he might just be over there for a Noah tour anyway. Yeah, so like that's the kind of guys who I would bring in where it's like they're there anyway, so you can like.
Well, who was on the so last Bloodsport? Jeff Cobb versus Calder McCall. I don't know who that is. Eric Hammer versus Calvin Tankman. Marina Shafir versus Killer Kelly. Kota Ibushi versus Mike Bailey.
I don't think Kota Ibushi will be there.
Bad Dude Tito versus
he might physically be there, but he will not be wrestling on the show.
Bad Dude Tito versus Yuya Yamura.
Yeah, I mean, Yura could, if New Japan wants to do that. But that was before he like finished up his excursion. So
Davey Boy Smith Jr. versus J.R. Kratos. I could see Smith on the show because he has a name. Johnny Bloodsport versus Royce Isaacs.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
John Moxley versus Alex Coughlin.
I mean, if Mox is Mox is actually another one that I could see on this as well.
I mean, he's close with Barnett, I think.
Yeah.
And they were going to do that match in AEW that never happened.
Mm-hmm. I mean, again, people have been like speculating about like Danielson as well.
So. Yeah. And then Timothy Thatcher versus Josh Barnett was the main event.
I mean, I could just see them do that as a rematch, to be honest.
Yeah. So,
actually, no. Oh my God. I just realized who Barnett is going to be fighting on this. It's actually incredibly obvious.
Suzuki?
No, not Suzuki, but you're close.
Funaki.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Because they did the whole deal where like he immediately after the fight was like, hey, Funaki, let's do this again. And yeah, that's the really obvious one for Barnett here.
Yeah. So probably the main event or semi-main, but we'll see how much talent they can get. I mean, he seems to know people, and all of these shoot guys have connections. So I would not be surprised if there was like a decent amount of big names on this show.
Okay, Gerard, are you in the camp of wanting to see 62-year-old Volkan on the show?
No.
Yeah, me neither. Because it's just gonna make me sad.
Yes, of course. That was the immediate thing that everyone pointed at. And apparently he says he wants to do a match. So, but we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, like a tag match, maybe. But people were talking about like him versus Danielson, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, if there is anyone that could get something out of Volkan at this stage, it would be Danielson, but still, like, I don't. That feels like a waste of Danielson as well.
Yeah, for sure. So we will keep you posted, and we'll watch it. We're gonna watch this show if we can.
Yeah. Like I assume it's gonna be on Triller because it is a Bloodsport show.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we'll see if it is on
Well,
there.
they should get some sort of money from broadcasting because they might need it.
Yeah. I mean, as long as it's not on Twit casting or whatever that one's called.
Yeah. So we'll go over to Noah and we'll start at Noah Crossover 2024 in Sendai. That was on February 4th at Sendai Sun Plaza Hall in front of 1,104 fans, which I don't think is that great a number because they've had like a couple Corkins just outdraw this show.
I mean, they literally had a Korakuen a couple of days later that I drew the show.
Yeah,
That we're
and
gonna
then
talk
and
about
then the
later.
Go versus Keno Korakuen.
Yeah, that also drew it. I mean, it also drew worse than the what was it? Jake versus Nakajima was the last big Sendai show they did. That drew like a couple of people more.
Yeah.
But what I will say though, it did draw significantly better than the Sun Plaza shows that they normally do. So that if we want to take at least some sort of positive spin from this, that would be the one. But yeah, not a great number.
So we started off with a three-way match. LJ Cleary defeated Ninja Mac and Alejandro in 9 minutes and 34 seconds. The Yushi from Cleary on to Alejandro. Perfectly fine little high spot opener. I don't think there's anything more to add to that.
I mean, they were teasing like dissension between Ninja Mac and Alejandro.
Yeah.
Which I think that's something to like keep an eye on coming out of this. Which I guess Ninja Mac would be going heel on that, which interested to see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, we've seen Alejandro as a heel before.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm thinking Ninja Mac would be the one going heel here, which I don't think I've ever seen him work heel anywhere. So who knows if he can do it.
Yeah. And then
like it doesn't seem very conducive to his style, let's put it that way.
No, absolutely not. And then Manabu Soya, Masa Kitamiya, Deki Inaba, Hayata, and Ada defeated Go Shiozaki, Mohamed Yone, Akitoshi Saito, Atsushi Katoge, and Hiroki in 15:08 with a prison hold from Kitamiya on Hiroki. I don't know. I mean, this was perfectly fine.
Yeah. I mean, it is, again, weird that we have this whole Team Noah thing, and then they're gonna have their own show, and then they just lose here in the second match from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a minor complaint.
And then Naomichi Marufuji, Takashi Sugera, and Alka Sasaki defeated Saxon Huxley, Timothy Thatcher, and Shuhei Taniguchi in 12:43 when Sasaki got a triangle choke on Taniguchi. I thought this was a nice little solid thing, and then you got Sasaki with yet another win as he slowly starts to add to his win column.
Yeah, and also getting the win back over Taniguchi as well. Because I think we talked about that on the last episode, where it's like Taniguchi basically just escaped with the win in their singles match, and then Sasaki gets revenge here. So, I mean, it becomes clearer that yes, they are actually pushing him now. So, like I said, there are some kinks he needs to work out, but
for sure,
there's definitely a lot of potential, and he's showing it more and more.
Absolutely, and they did the right thing putting him with Sugera.
Yeah, no, that's like a great guy to put him with, because Segura is just, yeah, like there's a lot of similarities here, and also like with both of them like starting later. Obviously, like Sasaki even later than Segura, but I think if there's one person to learn from for him, it's Segura.
And then Kaito Kiyomiya and Ryohei Oiwa defeated Yoshinari Ogawa and Yu Owada in 13 minutes and 31 seconds with the modified Tiger Driver from Kiyomiya on Owada. I really like this a lot. This is a great match for all the people involved, and then you got leg work from Ogawa and everything. So I really like this one.
Yeah, don't have much to add. Great little match. Whenever Ogawa and Kiyomiya like face off, it's always great. Like I think it's one of the reasons. Like if there's anything that Kaito Kiyomiya is actually standing up for himself, weirdly enough, it's having matches with Yoshinari Ogawa. But I mean, it's great, so I'm not going to complain about that.
And that modified Tiger Driver should just be Kiyomiya's actual.
Yes, it should be. Yeah. It's so much better than the Shining Wizard, like the weird modified Shining Wizard he does.
Yeah. Jake Lee, Yohei, and Tadasuke defeated Kazuyuki Fujita, Shuji Kondo, and Junta Miyawaki in 15 minutes and 42 seconds with a backdrop suplex from Leon Miyawaki. It's sort of funny. I'm not like Noah is really great at these 6 and 8 man tags, but sometimes you don't have to go 15 minutes. And I felt like there was stuff in this match that was perfectly good to very good wrestling, but it just sort of dragged, I thought.
Yeah, no, you definitely could have like cut 5 minutes off of this and you wouldn't have lost anything.
And then for the GHC Junior Heavyweight title, Daga defeated Hajime Ohara in 15 minutes and 40 seconds with Diablo Wings for his 3rd defense of the title. Paul, I don't want to overrate this match, but I thought it was good. And I thought the last couple of minutes with some hot near falls really was good and got the crowd really got up for this and everything. So I have to give this a like a 3.5, but that's all I'm asking for a match like this.
It is Daga. Like I said, like the thing with Daga is it's like you want me to give you a 2-star match, I give you a 3-star match. You want me to give you a 4-star match, I give you a 3-star match. So like he's solid for better or for worse. Like he's very consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Which, in case if it's against a guy like Ohara, that's actually a positive, but it's a negative if he's up against someone like Eita.
Right.
But yeah, no, I will agree with you that I think, ironically enough, this was probably one of his better defenses.
Yes, definitely one of his best single matches in Doha.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it was enhanced by the fact that I just really did not want Ohara to win this title. So it actually made me root for Daga. So I think that definitely helped, where like there were like some near falls that actually bit. I was like, oh my God, they're not actually gonna have Ohara win. And so kudos for them for making me root for Daga by just my sheer disdain for Hajime Ohara.
Mm-hmm. And then for the GHC Tag Team Championship, Jack Morris and Anthony Green defeated Dragon Bane and Alpha Wolf in 21:46 with the Tiger Driver from Morris on Dragon Bane for their 3rd defense of the titles. And I mean, this was great. Not like match of the year level. I think I went like 4, maybe 4.25, but just, and it started out a little slow and they looked like they were maybe not quite on the same page at first, but as this went on, it just got awesome.
Yeah, I agree. I also went 4 on this because to me, there was just too much like sloppiness early on, where, as you said, like they took a few minutes to actually figure each other out. But then once they actually were like, okay, this is what you can do, this is what we can do, and they put it all together, it was like really good down the stretch, just insanity all around. And I also bid on a bunch of near falls as well, but I actually think the brothers had a chance to win.
I watched this live and I thought they might win.
Yeah, no, same. And no, but I think this was easily like Morris and Green's like best defense so far, and easily the best match on the show as well.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. We'll get to
why
in a second here. In the main event for the GHC Heavyweight Championship, Hio to Dr. Wagner Jr. defeats Keno in 29 minutes and 37 seconds with a moonsault press. It was like a triple jump moonsault. So Keno fails on his 3rd defense, and Wagner's the 44th GHC champion. He is the 2nd foreign GHC champion, the 1st Mexican GHC champion, and the 1st masked GHC champion. And I don't know if you count Vader, but he might be the 1st masked champion of any of the major companies.
Do we count La Sombra's Intercontinental title reign?
Well, we're talking top champion, though.
So only the top championship. Yeah, in that case, yeah. I can't think of anyone off the top of my head that would have been the top champion, yeah.
Yeah.
Because his dad was only ever junior champion. Mm-hmm. Which is really funny in hindsight, that his dad was considered a junior.
Yeah. Well, he's on that line. Yeah, like the Destroyer was never the top champion.
No.
Mascaris, no. Yeah, like so. Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah.
At least if you count, like, if you want to say it's the big 3. Like you had Hayabusa, obviously. Like.
Yeah. But there was never a mass Triple Crown champion. If you discount Vader, it was never a mass like IWGP champion, never a mass GHC champion until Wagner.
Yeah. So
does Muta technically count?
well, no, because when he first won the IWGP title, it was his face paint.
Okay, yeah, so that doesn't count either. And Kojima never won it as the Great Kojika, right? So,
No.
or did he ever defend it as the Great Kojika?
Oh, I don't know. But that's still a little.
But again, that would be like very like pedantic, basically. Yes. So yeah, no, he is the first like full-time masked champion.
Is he also the first Mexican to be top champion?
Yes, I want to say, because again, I can't think of anyone off the top of my head that would have won it. It would have been a top champion there. It was never Mexican Triple Crown champion. It was never Mexican IWGP champion. Again, if we don't count, because technically now in the IWGP World Championship, they didn't merge the IC and previous heavyweight championship. So technically La Sombra, but again, that's, I think, being slightly pedantic there.
It is. Yeah, I'm just looking quickly here. Yeah, no, nothing in Japan for Dos Caras. And Mil Mascaras only ever won the PWF United States Championship. So yeah, I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's historic for that perspective. However, this match,
it was fine.
It was fine. I thought it started off good, and then they did nothing until 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I wouldn't say the last 9 minutes were spectacular or anything. It was good or good enough. And the finish just didn't seem like it was built up to that much either.
No, it just like, I think I've literally voted in the Discord chat. It was like, okay, that weird finish, because it just seemed to come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like he just hits the like moonsault press. Like he didn't even really build up to it. He just kind of does it and he just wins. And yeah. Like he didn't even seem like like sometimes where they're like really like building up the move as well to really like make you get that this is going to be important. He just kind of like nonchalantly goes to the top rope and just does it.
Yeah. So.
Or he doesn't go to top rope, but he does, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. He just did the move, because sometimes, you get to the top rope, you'll do the pose, put your arms out or something.
Yeah.
Like this is
to indicate like, hey guys, this is the like to kind of telegraph it a bit that this is the finish or whatever. And it's like, nah, I'm just gonna pin him now. It's like, okay.
So this was it was perfectly reasonable to expect more from these two.
Yes, absolutely. I went into this with really high expectations, just based on the output both of men have like put out over like the last year or more. So no, this definitely didn't live up to expectations. So and now Wagner's gone for like a month.
He'll be in Germany. Are you going to see him?
Yep. I don't know yet if I can swing that time-wise. I will try. I might only be able to make it out for night 2 of Carrot, but I need to look into that.
So, Paul, what do you think? How do you think Noah sees Kenoh then after this? Because we were talking about he should be holding the title for like the whole year.
Yeah, so very clearly they don't see him at the level that we see him at. Right? I think that's obvious now.
Yeah.
Because otherwise they would have because again, it made sense that they didn't give him a long title reign while he did the whole Congo character, because that just wouldn't have worked with that character. But now that he has shed this character and he's very obviously still the hottest guy in the promotion. Yeah. The fact that they still only gave him like 3 months, less than 3 month title reign, really. Right? I'm trying to think of the math. Yeah. So about 3 months. Yeah. Like pretty much on the dot, like 3 month title reign.
2 defenses.
2 defenses as well. The other fact is that they just didn't give him a defense at all during his first month as well. Was weird too. They clearly don't see him at that level where he's like a guy that should be holding the top title for like a while. And I don't quite know where he goes from here. I mean, I was talking about it in advance as well, where I was like, okay, I think Wagner has a chance of winning here as well. So it didn't really come as that much of a shock for me. I just thought it was weird timing-wise because he was going to be gone for March. But like they did build, like, because I saw people talk about that, did like it seemed to come out of nowhere, and I was like, well, they did build him up for a year with the whole like national title reign and all of that. So it's not like they didn't build him up to like be a credible top champion. But it was just weird that he was the guy now to end this Keno reign when I thought there was just so much more juice left in that reign. And yeah, that's the weird part of me, rather than I don't really think it's the wrong decision to pull the trigger on like Wagner. I just thought it was like weird to do it at this time. Now, if Wagner is just a transitional champion, then I did think it was the wrong decision, but we'll get to that.
Well, as it turns out, his contract gives him 4 months off.
Yeah, which
So
is
he's
the other
taking
weird part.
his first month off. Now.
Yeah, again, he just like how like, but and they knew that in advance, right? Because he was announced for Carrot like really far out. Like he was announced for Carrot so far out that people were suspecting that he was going to leave Noah. Because they were like, oh, well, he's booked in Germany for March. So is he just going to be out of Noah? And then like a month later, he announced that he re-signed with Noah.
I will give Wagner, maybe he had Barry Bloom representing him or something.
No, then he would be in AEW already.
Well, yes, but he's got 4 months off and the title.
Yeah. But again, that's the thing, right? Like, why give him the title now if you knew before you extended his contract that he was not going to be there for March?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any goddamn sense.
It's not the biggest thing because they got the tag league going on.
True. But again, it's just, it's just weird to not have your top champion there. Like, even if you just have your tag league there. Like, it is still, like, to me, it somewhat, like, lessens the, like, prestige of your tag league, too. Sure. That you just brought back if your top champion is not gonna bother showing up for that, and instead it's just traveling around Europe.
Well, Paul, your tag team champions aren't even in the tag league.
Yeah, that's my other issue with that.
Oh, and of course, look, I gotta say, Jake Lee came out to challenge next, and he had some swagger.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, like I said, I've been liking everything Jake has been doing since he lost the title, but I also, I don't want Jake back. I really enjoyed Jake because he got out of the title picture, so I don't want him back in it. So I really hope this isn't just a transitionary reign to just get the belt back onto Jake. Because I'm not going to get suckered into, like, another Jake title reign. I already got suckered into, like, enjoying Jake again. I'm not going to get suckered into, like, maybe this Jake title reign will work out. I'm not going to be that delusional.
Well, I was going to say then, like, if Jake wins the title, why did they take it off him in the first place?
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Unless they decided,
why would we do?
Unless this is a more recent decision
where they were like, oh wait, actually maybe there is actually like something there with Jake, and because of the whole thing with the promo and all of that. Because what I will give him, like I said, like one of the reasons why I've been enjoying him more is with the whole promo he cut afterwards, he does actually feel like a Noah guy now.
Yeah.
Because before he was just like this out, like he still felt like an outsider, whereas now he does actually, like before he was like the guy that failed in All Japan, whereas now he's like a Noah guy.
Yeah. And had one of the more like successful reigns of the last couple of years.
I mean, technically, yeah. I still don't know how to really fully evaluate that reign.
In kayfabe.
In kayfabe, yes. And the actual match quality was good. The drawing record is shit, but I still struggle how much I will actually put that on him.
Not all on him.
Yeah, like I said, like because my like conspiracy was like that he was like set up to fail, that he was the patsy.
Yeah.
For like all of Noah's booking failures, and then maybe now they were like, oh, now he has some. I don't know. I don't fucking know what the fuck is happening with Noah at the top title. Is basically what I'm saying, because it's just really fucking confusing.
So before we get to Limit Break, let's just do the quick Victory Challenge, which is the new name for the Global Tag League. The teams are Keno and Yu Owada, Masa Kitamiya and Daiki Inaba, Go Shiozaki and Etsushi Katoge, Kaito Kiyomiya and Ryohei Oiwa, Takashi Sugera and Alka Sasaki, Manabu Soya and Shuji Kondo, Saxon Huxley and Timothy Thatcher, and Dragon Bane and Alpha Wolf. Now, I got to say, other than not having the tag team champions in it, it's not a bad little lineup, honestly.
No. The one person I would have switched out Taniguchi for Huxley, but...
Yeah. But what are you going to do?
Yeah. I mean, they are the established team, so I get why they're in there. But no, this is a really... I really like this lineup. I think there's a lot of potential there. And it was like, and then also let's face it was long overdue for them to bring back the tag league.
Yeah.
Right? Because that was their issue where they just had nothing in spring. And now they actually, and again, like there was this very obvious, just massive gap in Noah's schedule, and that the tag league was just a very easy thing to fill it with. And they finally like pulled the trigger and brought it back.
Right. One of the interesting things I will just say, and now, mind you, it is a tag league, but Noah maybe seems to be off of its bringing in new foreigners kick for a tournament thing.
Yeah, because there's no one, like, it's actually the only foreigners in here, like the brothers and Huxley and Thatcher, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, and what I meant is like no one knew. Yeah.
And no one knew. Yes, that too.
So
I mean, that might also be because they've kind of like who's actually left that they could bring, and that isn't that they haven't booked yet, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, to be fair, there are a bunch of like foreigners. I mean, a bunch of Europeans actually specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, like I mentioned, I actually got sick, so I didn't manage to actually go. Maybe let me just talk about that real quick, because I actually forgot to tell you to put on a run sheet because I forgot that I watched it until just now. The Yuichi versus Mike DiVecchio match that happened last Sunday. Not last Sunday. Was it last Sunday? Wait. Yeah, no, it was last Sunday. So that was actually here in Berlin. And like I said, I was sick, so I couldn't go. But yeah, so basically the main event of that match was was Mike DiVecchio defending his GWF world title against Yuichi, formerly known as Yoshiki Inamura. It was a really good, solid match. And to me, if you want to bring in someone like Mike DiVecchio, I think would fit like a glove in Noah. And him like wrestling Yuichi, like hopefully that will get him some eyes from like people in Japan, but we'll see.
Well, didn't TNA sign him or something? Or
I think there was something,
tryout or something,
maybe?
But yet he hasn't really.
But I mean, there is a historical connection between like TNA and Noah, so that would work.
Yeah. So then, okay, so we're going to go next to Limit Break 1, starting over on February 15th at Corkin Hall in front of 1,212 fans. So I got to say, that's good.
Yes, no, especially given what they've drawn recently, I think this is a good number.
People are interested in a Noah Classic card as opposed to a contemporary Noah card.
I mean, it's really what this felt like, right? This felt like a classic Noah show.
Mm-hmm. So we start off with Taka Michinoku defeating Hiroki in 10 minutes and 28 seconds with the Michinoku Driver 2. We got teacher versus student here. I actually thought this was a perfectly fine match.
Yeah, like, no, this was a good opener.
Yeah.
What I will say though, it felt a little bit too much like teacher versus student, because like, I mean, Hiroki is not the youngest, so it's weird that you still do this teacher versus student match with two guys that are like in their 40s. Oh wait, no, Taka's actually like, is Taka already 50?
He's got to be close. Let's see here.
Because he's been around since like the mid-90s.
He will be 50.
He has to be.
He will be 50 this October. No, wait, sorry. He turned 50 in October, last October.
Okay, yeah. So it's weird that there's like a guy that is like in his early 40s and a guy that is like 50 doing like a teacher-student match. But aside from that, it was pretty enjoyable.
And then second match, Shuji Ishikawa defeated Yu Owada in 9 minutes with a Fire Thunder Driver. Paul, did you see who Shuji had in his corner?
Yes, Black Mansoray, which
Yeah.
was a bit of a surprise, and the crowd made audible noise once when he came out as well.
So they seem to be a unit together now.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Because they're kind of the guys that run like Evolution now, that it's kind of its own thing.
Yes.
And by Evolution, I mean the promotion, not the faction. Oh God, this is going to be confusing.
I love this match. It was
This was great.
Shuji just beating the crap out of Owada getting some big comebacks that fired up the crowd, and then him just finishing off.
Yeah. No, Ichikawa was obviously really great at these, and I think what really helps, it's like, right, I think actually him being kind of broken down helps these kinds of matches.
Right.
Because it actually makes it more believable that the young guy would get some offense in on him, because he's just kind of this broken, old, tired. Like, he's broken, old, and tired, but he's still massive. So it's like, it is believable that Owada would get some offense on him, but that eventually Ishikawa would just just quite literally overpower him by just being bigger than him. So no, I thought this was great.
And then in a no 3 count special rules match, Kazushi Sakuraba and Daisuke Sekimoto went to a time limit draw in 15 minutes. Look, I thought the last couple minutes were not bad, but this is a little slow to go to get going.
Yeah. No, this really dragged, and it's just, I get why I don't know, like, it's still like Sakuraba can't take a loss here, but I will at least say the last couple of minutes did redeem this match, where like Sekimoto just destroyed Sakuraba, and Sakuraba just, it did feel like he just barely survived the match. So that helped it, but it didn't really make up. Like, the last 5 minutes were great, but it didn't make up for the first 10 minutes being just pretty boring.
And then Masato Tanaka, accompanied by Real 01, defeated Muhammad Yone in 12 minutes and 16 seconds with the sliding D. This was great again.
Yeah.
A shockingly great performance by Yone.
I mean, don't sleep on Yone. Whenever Yone is called on to actually deliver, he does deliver.
This involved Tanaka diving off the top rope outside through a table with Yone on it in the first
within like the first 5 minutes of the match.
Yeah. And then they just slugged each other, and then Tanaka won. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, this was great. I thought this was really fun. And I mean, it is also nice that, I mean, Real 01 actually makes sense to like feud with Team Noah, right? Like,
yeah,
because they both have, like, it's basically like Real 01 can feud with Team Noah just on the basis of like gimmick infringement.
Yeah, it's basically the established guys in the company. It's funny.
I mean, it's quite literally what Team Noah is. They're just like being like, oh, you're doing this thing where like your old guys are like, oh no, we're like the real like guys that represent the promotion instead of all of these new guys. Like, it's the same gimmick.
Oh, they did a Real 01 versus Team Noah show today at Shinjuku Face.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So let's see here. Okay, so Satsuki Nagao defeated Hiroki in 11:29. Muhammad Yone and Akitoshi Saito defeated Chris Weiss and Yoshikazu Yokoyama. And then in the main event, Go and Katoge defeated Masato Tanaka and Sugawara.
Isn't Chris Weiss the 01 champion?
I believe he might be, yeah.
So does that mean one of Yone gets like a title shot now? I actually wouldn't be opposed to that.
No, Shiozaki pinned Sugawara.
Ah, okay.
But this only drew 204 at Shinjuku Face.
Ooh, that's not great.
No,
you might as well run that in Shinkiba.
Yeah. And then Great Bash heel Toge Makabe and Tomoaki Hanma defeated Kazuyuki Fujita and Akitoshi Saito in 15-16 with the King Kong knee drop from Makabe on Saito. Well, they all can't be winners.
No.
This was probably the worst match of the show.
Oh, yeah, no, easily.
I did like Fujita and Makabe slapping each other, but that's about it.
Yes, no, the start of this match was great with Fujita handing his like energy drink to Makabe, and then Makabe taking it and then just spitting it into Fujita's face, and then Fujita just beats the shit out of Makabe. No, that was awesome. But then unfortunately everything after that was very meh.
And I can't remember after what match, but Tetsuya Endo, Kazusada Higuchi, Yuki Ino, and Rukia came out and
I
said
think that was after the Ishikawa match. I think it was pretty early in the show.
And they came out and said they will be on the March 20th show, the Limit Break show at Yokohama Radiant, which we'll talk about in a minute because we got a card. And then in the main event, Go Shiozaki and Atsushi Katoge went to a 30-minute time limit draw against Jun Akiyama and Yuji Nagata. This was awesome, I thought. You had the whole Katoge versus Akiyama vibe, and just everybody stepped up. This is like the best Akiyama has looked in a while, I have to say.
He's motivated.
Yeah, he's always motivated in Noah, actually, to be fair to him. He's probably just, tired of doing his comedy, six mans and DDT or whatever. And in the last few minutes, Akiyama was pounding on Katoge, who survived until the 30-minute time limit draw, but this was great. Definitely seek it out. So
I mean, what this actually makes me wonder, right? Because we were always like, why is Akiyama not working any Noah shows? Despite the fact that they're like in the same company.
Yeah.
Or why aren't there any DDT guys working Noah shows, despite the fact that they're in the same company? The moment we get this like weird Team Noah spin-off, Akiyama's on the show and there's DDT guys invading. Like, is there a heat between like the main Noah office and like the DDT office and Akiyama that like prevents that from happening, and that's why they're doing this in this like weird roundabout way with the Team Noah guys?
Well, is it Nosawa? I don't know.
Is it Marufuji?
Yes.
Right? Like, is there heat between like Akiyama and Marufuji, and that's why Akiyama isn't working mainline Noah shows?
Very possible.
Like that's my like speculation base. That's my like tinfoil head right now.
Well, Akiyama got Marufuji to work that champion carnival, I assume.
Oh yeah, that's true. That actually doesn't make sense, because that was still Akiyama. Yeah, but I mean, there seems to be something here, right, that prevents DDT and Noah crossover, and they're kind of getting around it by doing these like Team Noah shows. Or at least that's what it appears to be.
Yeah, that's what it feels like for sure.
But like talking about the match, I thought this was great. I wonder if this is like another go around of like, let's make Atsushi Katoge a heavyweight. But he was awesome. He was awesome here. I mean, he rightfully so got like Katoge chance after the match. And him just kind of surviving. Like, he was basically like the entire like last few minutes of this match was just him surviving of just Akiyama just throwing everything in the kitchen sink at him. I legitimately thought, like, when he did that, like that last exploiter, like I was like, okay, that's absolutely the finish here. And that's what it felt like. And then just Shiozaki just barely made it in to like break up the pin. And then just literally did like, he like patted like Katoge on the shoulder and was just like it really felt like, hey, okay, like just survive. The match is almost over. You can do it. And then like Nagata dragging him in a way. And then Akiyama just gets like one more like knee shot in before the match just ends. And I thought this was awesome. And Akiyama's like chest as well from getting chopped to shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, hopefully maybe we'll see more Akiyama in this sort of thing.
Yeah. This was great.
We'll go quickly through the upcoming Noah shows, and there's a ton that have been announced on this Saturday, the 17th. We don't have much unless you want to see a Tadasuke versus Hayata singles match.
A Tadasuke singles match, yes. A Hayata singles match, no.
Masakitami and Ninja Mac versus Dragonbane and Alpha Wolf. Jake Lee and Jack Morris versus Anthony Green and LJ Cleary. So good-looking guys collide, but there's not much to that show. And then on February 23rd, we've got the GHC Junior Tag match, Yohei versus Hayata And this is at Korakuen. So we got Yohei and Tadasuke versus Hada and Ada. Jack Morris versus Anthony Green for the GHC national title. Marufuji and Kazuyuki Fujita.
Actually, on that one, do you foresee either title? I mean, I don't think the national title will change, but I think there's a decent chance the junior title, tag titles will change.
Of course. Always got to put a title back on Hayata.
Absolutely. And then Hayata can turn on Eita after the match.
Yeah. So you've got some Victory Challenge League tag league scramble. So it's Keno, Yuawada, Kaito Kiyomiya, and Ryohei Oiwa versus Soya, Kondo, Huxley, and Thatcher. And then in another one, it's Kitamiya, Inaba, Sugiura, and Sasaki versus Shiozaki, Katoge, Dragonbane, and Alpha Wolf. We got Junta Miyawaki versus Ninja Mac. Daga and Yoshinari Ogawa versus Hajime Ohara and Super Crazy. Oh my gosh. And then Hiroki versus Alejandro on the 24th at Yokohama Radiant Hall. We start off with the Victory Challenge Tag League. So that will have Go Shiozaki and Katoge versus Sugiura and Sasaki, Kaito Kiyomiya and Oiwa versus Huxley and Thatcher, Keno and Yu Owada versus Soya and Kondo. That could be great. And then we got Kitamiya and Inaba versus Dragonbane and Alpha Wolf.
That should actually slap, right? Like that's just a really hard-hitting match too.
Yeah. So that starts the Victory Tag League. So I'm just going to skip ahead to the final night of the Victory Challenge Tag League, which will be at March 10th at Kumamoto Castle Hall, Civic Hall. And so they're doing tournament matches and then plus the final. So we've got Keno and Yu Owada versus Huxley and Thatcher, Kitamiya and Inaba versus Sugiura and Ulka Sasaki, Go Shiozaki and Itsushi Katoge versus Kaito Kiyomiya and Ryohei Oiwa, and Manabu Soya and Shuji Kondo versus Dragonbane and Alpha Wolf. Paul, based on that, who do you see in the finals here?
I think I would say Kaito and Oiwa to me are the favorites.
Yeah.
And I actually think Sugiura and Sasaki have a really good chance too.
That's very possible.
Like I could see them making the finals. Like I could see that be the finals. I mean, in terms of like match quality, that would be really far up there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think if you're just going for sheer match quality, it would obviously be Oiwa and Kaito versus Kitamiya and Inaba.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the other thing that I'm actually starting to think, especially with the result of the Team Noah shows, I think actually Go Shiozaki and Katoge.
I agree.
That seems like a very logical thing to book here, right?
Yep. In fact, I would have them win the tag titles, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And Go and Katoge, but I still think Oiwa and Kaito, I think, are still making the finals.
So are they gonna? Well, see, this is the thing. It's Shiozaki and Katoge versus Kiyomiya and Oiwa. So
on the final night. Shit, sorry, yeah.
So then it's like, are they gonna have two matches against each other on the same night?
No, that doesn't make sense. You are correct.
I
mean, in that case, actually, Kitamiya and Inaba versus Go and Katoge.
I mean, that would be a hell of a final.
Yeah.
I think that would be good. But I don't think you can discount Oiwa and Kiyomiya.
No. I think whoever wins that match is going to go to the final. I think that's pretty safe to say.
Yeah. Oh, and then forgot to mention on March 2nd, at Nagoya International Conference Center, we're getting Jake Lee versus Kazuyuki Fujita.
Yeah,
how do you
that
feel
is
about this?
I don't know. It very heavily depends what the outcome of this match is, right?
Well, so here's your options. Like, okay, Fujita wins,
which doesn't make sense.
But then presumably Jake's got to beat.
But
Wagner.
It's Fujita.
Yeah, but then Jake's got to beat Wagner. Or he looks like a geek.
I mean, he looks like a geek already if he loses a singles match before his title shot.
I know, But here's my rationale. If Jake beats Fujita, I think that like there's only so many Fujita jobs you get. So why not save that if you're going to put the title on Jake later for a title match? Or have Fujita drop to someone else in a title match. That's just my logic of seeing if you can actually get Fujita to do a job.
I mean, don't Noah contracts generally expire either in October or April?
Yes.
So could this just be, this is Fujita's last match that he's booked for on his current contract? Probably not going to get extended, let's be honest here.
Mm-hmm.
So you get this one final job out of him before he's gone.
Yeah.
And in that case, because you know Jake is your next title challenger.
But, okay, so if Jake beats Fujita and loses to Wagner, was that really worth it? Or could have you slotted in like Kaido or someone in there instead?
No, I think it's fine. Because again, if this is Fujita's last match on his contract, and you know Jake is your next title challenger, you give that to Jake. It's fine. It's Fujita. Like, right. You know, it's not like, I get that he doesn't do a lot of jobs, but like the weird thing as well is that it doesn't actually mean that much to beat Fujita. Despite the fact that he never does any jobs.
I guess not. Yeah, I mean, if you can get a job, you might as well just take it on his way out, right?
Exactly. Like, if you can, at least for some time, agree him to do a job, you do it on the way out. You build up Jake for his title challenge, and yeah, it actually puts over like Wagner a lot more if he beats Jake, like the guy that just held the title for so long and that also beat Fujita. So I think that does still make sense.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a lot more sense than like Jake losing to Fujita and then like Jake beating Wagner and then defending the title against Fujita. Like that just makes Jake look worse. That just makes Wagner look worse. Yeah. The only person that comes out of that good is Fujita. So obviously that's what they're gonna do.
Mm-hmm. So there's a couple of Noah shows after the finals, but they don't have cards yet. So we jump ahead to March 20th for Limit Break 2 at Yokohama Radiant Hall. So we've got Go Shiozaki and Genta Yubari versus Tetsuya Endo and Yuki Ino. Yubari is a Dotonbori Pro guy. Then we got Jun Akiyama and Akitoshi Saito versus Suji Ishikawa and Ren Ayabe.
Yeah.
So
interesting that Ren is there.
Yep.
Because I don't think he's booked for anything in All Japan going forward, right?
I do not think so, but we'll double check when we have the cards. Plus this is all the way at the end of March or towards the end of March. So anyway, Kazuyuki Fujita and Atsushi Katoge versus Kazusada Higuchi and Black Mensore.
Those are like actual like Fire Pro random teams.
Yeah. Muhammad Yone and Hiroki versus Yudo Kikuchi and Haruto Nozomi, who are actually more Dotonbori Pro guys, and Yu Owada versus Rukia, which I think is a good young guy battle.
Mm-hmm. Interesting that they're booking all of these like Osaka guys on a like show in Yokohama.
Yeah, I don't know. And then on March 31st at Corkin Hall, we've got El Hijo Dr. Wagner Jr. versus Jake Lee in a GHC title match. One thing that I wanted to say is, Paul, you know how I was saying that there's these cards with nothing announced yet?
Mm-hmm.
They have a Yokohama Budokan show on March 17th with nothing announced, but they're doing the title match like almost 2 weeks later. Or 2 weeks later in Cork.
Yeah, so we're like exactly a month out from that show, and
so that Yokohama Budokan show. Oh, sorry, wait, it's a tag title match against the winners.
Oh, that's on that one. Okay.
Yeah, but do you think that's a main event of a
Budokan show? No.
Well,
unless they just.
Then you've also because it's a tag title match, so there's going to be no national title either.
Yeah. Like you have the junior title on that, and the junior. No, wait, you don't even have the junior title on that, or at least there's no junior title match announced, right?
Well, you could do it, yeah, but
you could do that, but then otherwise, yeah, because we have like matches announced for all of the other titles already.
I honestly think, I think you'd be better off having Katoge and Shiozaki challenge on that show for maximum. Because I don't think Kiyomiya and Oiwa would be fitting for a main event on that show. What do you think?
I mean, Kiyomiya is.
Yeah, maybe.
I get that it's like they've done a lot of damage, but he is still a credible like main eventer, though.
I guess, yeah. So we'll see about that and what else do they add to that show. So that is Noah. Paul, I don't know. With that title change, I feel like a little bit of the wind that they in their sails has been let out.
Yeah, because this title reign was just so great, and yeah, I just don't get.
And it wasn't a great match.
No, I think that's really what hurt it as well. If this had been a great match, I would have been like you. Like I said, I still don't think it's necessarily the wrong decision to put it on Wagner.
Mm-hmm.
But this, like, Keno is just so great at the moment that it just doesn't make a lot of sense to just cut this title reign short.
Yeah, I agree. So before we get to All Japan, we'll sort of do a transition and we'll go to the NTV 70 Years of Pro Wrestling show on February 9th at Corkin Hall in front of 1,625 fans. That was a super no vacancy full house. And it was packed.
There were a lot of I was like, when I watched the show, I was like, I kind of probably would have been angry to be at the show because there was just so much stuff to watch on the video wall.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, okay, it would have been not that great in general, but it's fine if you sit in the north end, like the big one, right? With all of the all of the tiered seating that goes all the way up.
Yeah, the orange.
That's still fine because the screen is on that side. If you sit on the other side, you can't see shit because the video wall is behind you.
Yeah. This crowd was a much more middle-aged male audience than All Japan and Noah these days, which I also thought was funny.
Which is interesting because there weren't even any old guys on the show. All of the old guys were in like talk battles or just like in video packages.
So you had Kobashi and Muto come out to welcome people. I really like the video packages on this show.
I mean, again, yeah, they were nice to watch. It's just I was just thinking of it. If I had been there in person, I would have been mad.
So the show started off with Jun Saito and Rei Saito going to a double countout with Timothy Thatcher and Saxon Huxley in 1 minute and 5 seconds. But then it got restarted and Jun Saito and Rei Saito defeated Timothy Thatcher and Saxon Huxley in 8 minutes and 44 seconds with a diving body press from Rei on Huxley. But guess what?
Yeah.
Rei separated his shoulder from that move. Yikes.
Yeah.
And
especially after he just got a new finisher, where that probably wouldn't have happened if he had just used that.
Yeah.
It really kind of felt like this was him like wanting to use that one last time, and it was one time too many.
He probably shouldn't be using that move.
No, absolutely not. He's way too big for that. Yeah. That's probably why he got the other move as his finisher now, where it's like, okay,
I was using the pile driver too.
Yeah, he was using the pile driver too, but like he got like a move that was a lot less like strenuous on his body, and like I said, it really felt like he wanted to use it one last time, and it was one time too many, whatever.
Well, hopefully he drops out when he comes back.
Yeah, I think he will, and it's just such a shame that it just derails this like Saito's run, because they were peaking, right? And I mean they are a bit old as well, so it's like, can they actually get back to the kind of can they ever get back to the kind of momentum that they had now?
Yeah,
you know.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's separated shows 2 to 12 weeks, but that might put him out of the carnival.
Yeah, exactly. It's a shame.
So more video packages, and then Go Shiozaki, Muhammad Yoni, and Atsushi Katoge defeated Naomichi Marufuji, Takashi Sugera, and Yu Owada in 15:09 with a go-on lariat from Shiozaki and Owada. I mean, I thought this was a pretty good match, and I thought the Shiozaki and Sugera stuff was the best part.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I just thought, like, with this and the next match, I thought it was a little bit sad that we just had these, like, separated All Japan and Noah matches.
Yeah. Well, we'll get to the All Japan match in a second. And then I think it was after this match, Onita and Fuchi came out and they did video packages for Terry Funk and then a 10-bell salute.
Those were genuinely touching. Those were really nice.
Yeah, because they had like footage of him like being mobbed by fans, in public and everything like that.
And they replayed the Forever Club as well.
Yep. And also Mitsuo Momota was there because he had been battling, I believe, throat cancer not too long ago. So it was good to see him there. And then we got Yuma Aoyagi.
Also, just real quick, we need to talk about Fuji's clothing choices. Just him kind of cosplaying as oh God, why am I blanking on his name now? The guy that just got fired from Stardom.
Oh, Rossi.
Yeah, him cosplaying as Rossi Ogawa.
The hat man.
Dude, the hat was the most notable part, but I felt like the entire outfit was like very much like a Rossi Ogawa inspired outfit.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because he was dressed and then Onita was just like in jeans.
I mean, it's Onita, like it's what he always wears.
And then Yuma Aoyagi, Asuki Aoyagi, and Rising Hayato defeated Kento Miyahara, Ryuki Honda, and Dan Tamura when Yuma used a reverse cradle on Honda, and that was 21-46. I mean, I like the Noah match, but I thought this sort of like was definitely way better.
Yes. No, for sure. Like it did kind of like show kind of the the stage both promotions are in. It's like, yeah, Noah has good stuff, but then All Japan just kind of blows it out of the water.
Yeah.
And yeah, I also like Yuma kind of like, I think Yuma came across really well here. Yeah, no, I just really enjoyed the match, and I get that someone had to take the pin here, so and it didn't like damage Honda too much to like take the pin here because Yuma just kind of like cradled him and just pinned him.
It's not really
they very much played it up afterwards as well.
In canon show, really, either.
That too, yes.
And then I'm sure there were more video packages. I just can't remember the order of which ones. And then in the main event, Kaito Kiyomiya defeated Yuma Anzai in 18 minutes and 34 seconds with a modified Shining Wizard. I mean, I thought this was really great. Obviously, it didn't quite end up peaking like a match of the year type thing, but I thought this was very solid. And Kaito showed a little bit of like, he's kicking at Honda's head, like get up, you young kid, and everything like that. So I thought it was a pretty decent performance from Kaito, showing a little bit of edge, not a ton, but a little bit more than usual. And yeah, I mean, it was a great main event. And I mean, honestly, I expected that result.
Yeah. And Kaito won a vacuum cleaner.
And
the most important part here.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. No, this was a really fun match. I feel like
we even got a video
both men didn't
for
go all
the
out.
Vacuum cleaner.
Yes. Oh yeah, the match was
because they used
to
use a vacuum cleaner on the ring in like the 1960s between matches.
No, but I thought both men didn't really go all out though. I think they both could have gotten a better match, right?
Yes.
So, but still, it was solid enough. And actually, oh yeah, now I actually remember what happened before this match. That was when Muto and Kobashi came out.
Oh right, yeah.
And like looked very much in pain throwing shirts into the crowd.
Oh yeah, they couldn't throw those shirts. The little balls with a gift in them.
Oh, the balls with the gift, but they were very much like that was actually kind of painful to look at.
Yeah, they that was hard. Well, yeah, because Kobashi's had double like elbow surgery. Like,
and also something that you need to kind of like put some spin into your throws is your hips, which Muto doesn't have anymore.
No, they're probably disintegrating.
Yeah.
Oh, and also Muto being Muto said the next year we'll have this anniversary, the 71st anniversary show in Tokyo Dome.
It's like, we sold out Korakuen Hall, so we very obviously can go from there straight to the Tokyo Dome. You just need to give me a cut of the revenue.
I don't think NTV is interested in doing that.
No, why would they? That's just a money pit.
Although,
I think they could upgrade the venue because they sold this one out. but like you don't go from the Tokyo Dome you don't go from Korakuen to the Tokyo Dome. Well, I mean, you can physically because they're right next to each other, but that doesn't mean it's a good idea to do the show there.
I would say that the if they have a match or they have a show like this next year, will depend on how the ratings did. I mean, this did air at 6:30 p.m. on G Plus on a Friday.
Yeah.
So it
in
wasn't like
theory,
a 2
there's a
a.m. death
chance.
slot or something like
Yeah.
that. So
Which I have no idea where to get like ratings data for Japan.
I don't know. If there's a show next year, then we'll know it was good.
Yeah. We'll ask Brendan. I'm sure he'll be able to figure it out.
Yeah. So then we finally move over into Japan. So, well, we'll have to start with IGF threatening a lawsuit.
Fucking Simon Inoki.
So, I mean, there's a couple people that fall here, I think. There's Simon Inoki. And I think like the All Japan office should be doing more due diligence on this as well.
Yes, I mean, to be fair, the All Japan office is like 4 guys, but they should still have like some sort of lawyer. Yeah. At least that they could just be like, well, hey, can you look into
I can assure you that
this?
In his many businesses, Fukuda has a lawyer.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in general, if you're a company and you don't have a lawyer on retainer, what the fuck are you doing?
We should clarify this lawsuit's about the Nakajima gimmick with like the Tukon and like fighting spirit stuff.
Yeah. So again, someone should have done their due diligence here. Like, obviously, they shouldn't. Like, fucking Simon Inoki probably misrepresented the situation to them, which I would probably just cut off all contact with him after that. Right? The guy just tells us, like, yeah, no, it's fine. You can use it. Actually, you can, like, trademark it. It's okay. Like, you shouldn't just take his word for it. You should actually, like, get, like, if you don't have a legal department, just get whatever lawyer you have on retainer to look into that. And yeah, like A, they didn't do that, which is stupid, but then B, they definitely shouldn't do any further business dealings with him after that.
No. And so Nakajima's gone from cosplaying as Inoki into doing his Florida Brothers tribute.
Yeah, that now that explains why he pivoted to being Rocky.
Yeah.
And not Rocky Kawamura.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you should bring him in and team him with Nakajima. That actually makes sense now.
Well, so Nakajima's latest look in that press conference with June, he was looked like he was in Top Gun.
Oh yeah. Well, he looked like he was on now he actually looked like he was on Rocky 4.
Yeah. So that's that. So All Japan has accepted 2 new. So they ended up. I was getting a little worried about this, but they ended up taking 2 new trainees into their dojo from that tryout in December at Shinkiba. So I'm not sure. This is just a Google Translate, but one of the first candidate, and you can watch the tryout video so you can look at them. So he had bib number 3 on. It's on their YouTube channel. And so I got the translation name of Ichi Daishin Nagao. And bib number 5, Sakudo Terada. And I'm pretty sure they're both junior size.
Yeah, they both look to be on the smaller side.
Which is fine. They got they just need bodies, I think. Yeah. And really, the junior division is sort of thin.
The junior division actually does need bodies, yeah.
And, because Iwamoto's gone, I mean, Sato is, in his 40s and everything like that. So
they also need guys to, take falls.
Oh, yeah, they definitely need that.
Inoue is, moving out of, because basically Inoue is only still stuck in, young boy status because there's no one else behind him to, start taking falls.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the roster is just so thin. I mean, it's pound for pound incredible if you actually think about it, but it's too thin.
Yeah.
But if you actually look at that roster, name a bad wrestler on it.
Yeah, no, I mean, there isn't really anyone. Yeah,
no.
I'm actually trying to think. Okay, out of the signed guys, who's the worst wrestler?
I mean, technically,
Omori. Unfortunately, as much as I like him.
You think the Satos are better workers than
Omori? I think it's close. Actually,
And
yeah, I
more
think it might be
charisma.
June. It might be June. It might be June. They have more charisma, yeah.
Like you listen to those pops that June gets when he does his hair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. But I think if we just look at it, it's June, and June is not bad.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a good sign.
Also, okay, can we just briefly talk about the white guy that was in the tryout?
Oh my God, he's horrible.
So bad. I literally just talked about how I'm like, A, I'm not really a natural athlete, and B, I have been out of my like regular like training routine for like 2 months now because I got derailed by like Christmas and Japan and sickness and
Yeah.
like everything. But I still feel like I would have done better than him because you know what? I can bend my knees.
He's a wrestler too.
Yeah.
I
I was shocked that he just actually couldn't, like, how not far down he could bend his knees. That was not good. Like, it just felt like he was like, I'm tall and I'm white. That's all I need to, like, I don't know. Like, it just felt like that. He felt like that's all I need to get through here. And then yeah, that was not a good performance.
Yeah. So we go on to New Age Chronicle 3, or Z3 or Z3 on February 8th at Shinkiba in front of 335 fans. Super no vacancy full house. Soma Watanabe defeated Ryo Inoue in 10 minutes and 8 seconds with the drop kick. I mean, I thought this was a really good opener.
Mm-hmm.
And they meshed
Yeah,
well
that was
together
fun.
as I suspected. And then Hideki Shrek Sakine defeated Imabari Towel Mascaris in 503 with the lariat. I will say this. The actual motion that Shrek did of the lariat looked horrible, but Towel Mascaris did an incredible sell job for this very labored looking lariat.
Yes, and they thankfully kept the short.
Yeah, and it was like Shrek rushing him and then Towel Mascaris doing a bunch of drop kicks. I mean, it wasn't like I can't say it was like horrible or anything. It just, you know, a very simple match format and thankfully kept short.
Yeah.
Jun Saito and Rei Saito defeated Shotaro Ashino and Kuma Arashi in 11 minutes and 48 seconds with what did he pin him with? Because I have it listed here from Pro Love, like the Saito Ichihara smash.
Yeah, but that's the like
the palm strike.
Yeah, the palm strike that it does, right?
Well, what was it called? What's the German dish?
Oh yeah, right. He called it the ice spine. Yeah,
ice spine. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, now I'm actually trying to think if that's what he pinned him with. Trying to remember. Because that's not what he calls his pile driver. Like he would just put in pile driver.
No, it's a whole pile driver.
Yeah, that's just
anyway.
Pile driver.
I enjoyed this match. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Actually, to me, it just highlighted the need that they got to get Kumadoi back.
Yes, absolutely. Like
actually,
especially now. Yeah.
Honestly, even if they could just get Kuma Arashi and team him with Ashino, because they work very well together, and they were tag champs in Wrestle 1 too, weren't they?
Mm-hmm. Yep, they were. They were the final Wrestle 1 tag champions, actually, I believe.
Yeah. So I mean, even if you could, I mean, I'd take them both, but even if you could just get Kuma, I think that. I mean,
Kuma is the better worker between them.
He's become the better worker.
He wasn't always the better worker, but he is definitely now.
But I think Doi is very solid too, right?
Doi is solid. It's just he just kind of stalled out, whereas Kuma actually became better.
Yeah. So yeah, I just that's all I could think after this match. Like,
no, I mean especially with Rei out injured, they like again need more bodies. I think bringing in Kuma's like if you only can bring in one, like you know.
Well, you might need him for the Champion Carnival because you can't put Takao Mori in there anymore.
Nope, can't put Takao Mori, can't put Shuji Ishikawa in there either.
Yeah.
So that's like 2 spots open right there.
Yeah.
And then it's not quite sure if Rei is going to be able to make it for the Carnival. So that's 3 spots potentially.
Yep. Oh, that's what I meant because Rei is out. And
yeah. Oh, so have like an emergency. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because they're already talking about Atsuki in the Carnival, right?
Oh, yeah. That might have been a direct reaction to Rei getting injured. Actually.
No, I think that was even before Rei.
Yeah, was it?
But they were out Shuji Ishikawa. I mean, for the Carnival. So
oh wait, no, because he talked about it after after the main event of this show.
yeah. So I think that's the thing. Yuma Aoyagi, Yuma Anzai, and Ryuki Honda defeated Hokuto Omori, Ren Ayabe, and Demonji So in 1659 when Anzai pinned Ayabe with the German suplex hold, which is sort of interesting since Ayabe sort of kind of protected, as we were talking about with him appearing in No.
And So is right there as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, I thought this was great.
Yeah.
This might have been my
No,
next
this rocked.
show.
Yeah. It just made me really sad that Ren might be done now after this. Because he was really great in this match as well. It's just like the tall guy just kind of brushing people off.
He's starting to improve.
Yeah.
And he has been, but it's really showing now.
I mean, we've been talking always about it, right? With these like tall guys where like they just need to like find that switch, and once they flip that switch, they become great.
I mean, I know Demonji's in Big Japan, but he is a freelancer, and I mean, he's a guy that could really help too.
Yeah. And again, I think even with all Japan's kind of shoestring budget, they should be able to outbid Big Japan.
Yeah. And yeah, because they got some salary.
And I mean, hey, they actually made a profit last year, so maybe it's not quite as much like shoestring as we think.
They got yeah, and they got some salary space.
That too, yeah, that too. They made a profit last year, and then they also like lost a bunch. Like again, Black Mansoray was a lower card guy, but he's been there for years. And the way like Japanese salary structure works, it's like actually what like yes, your position on the card determines your salary, but also tenure determines the salary a lot as well.
Yeah. And then we got Dan Tamura and Hayato Tamura defeating Rising Hayato and Rising Atsuki in 1851 with the power bomb from Dan on Atsuki. I mean, so the X turned out to be Atsuki, and they were like, oh, well, he's helping with production backstage and everything like that. Well, no, it turns out that the crowd loved it.
And the crowd popped so massively for Rising Atsuki.
Yeah. I mean, this was really good too. I think the match before it was better, but I mean, this was still a really good match.
Yeah. No, I agree. The summer main was better, but this was a ton of fun as well. And just like Atsuki kind of like playing up. Well, to be fair, he did actually struggle a little bit pulling off some of the Hayato like stuff.
Oh yeah, because now I wasn't sure like when he was going for those lion salt or whatever, was that him like intentionally doing that, or he couldn't do it?
I mean, he is pretty athletic, so it would be weird if he wouldn't be able to do it, but maybe it's just because he doesn't normally do it. His body wasn't used to it. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure there either.
I thought Hayato Tamura like just feels like a star.
Yeah.
Coming
no,
out with
absolutely.
The G-Rex and everything.
Yeah. Like I think like him, like I love Dan, but he just like has much more like star power energy than Dan does.
Oh, yeah, of course. So a good show.
And again, if and when or whatever Great goes under, like the first guys I'm calling are like T-Hawk and Tamura.
Look, I am not making any predictions about that. I think that's a fool's game at this point.
Oh no, absolutely, because they have definitely been more resilient than I think a lot of people have given them credit
absolutely. For. I mean, a lot of people were completely wrong with how long they'd last.
Yeah.
So then we're going up to the next big show on the 20th at Corkett Hall. So we've got another act rest time. Mariah Ono and Natsumi versus Natsumi Sumikawa versus Naru and Koki. I mean, technically, this is probably the best match that they've offered so far, talking to act res watchers.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm not really familiar with too many of them. Oh, do we also briefly want to touch on the Deafin actress as well?
Oh, yes.
Now I actually need to remember the name. Okay, that's actually worse now because I forgot the name of the person that died.
Wasn't that Asahi?
Yes. I think so. Let me check. Yeah, it was her. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she was only 21 as well. Like she
Yeah.
passed away in a
Car
car
accident.
accident
Just
at the
awful.
beginning of February. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
awful.
Um, it's just like, and I know that talking to people that are, I just talk to all these actress girls watchers now because I don't know nothing about the company and everything like that. But she was seen as someone with a lot of potential and everything like that. So very, very
Yeah.
tragic.
She actually had a match like on the day before she died as well, which is
Yeah.
kind of eerie. Yeah.
Reminds me of Aoki.
Aoki, yeah, that's still an all-time weird thing because, like I said, I was in Japan when Aoki died, and like it's one of those things that I will always remember because I was standing on the on the like train, like we were like waiting for the Yamanote line train to go to Akihabara. It was like me, Kelly Harris, like John Carroll. I think Taylor was there as well. And I'm just like checking my phone while we wait for the train, and I just see the message pop up that Aoki is dead, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Mm.
Yeah, it's just it's eerie when that happens. Like, and again, like I mean, Aoki was older, but like still, there was like no age to die, and like it's even worse. Like she was like half his age.
Yeah.
You know, like it's just like literally the entire life in front of her, and it's just sad. That's really like the only thing I can say.
Mm-hmm. And then we go to this will be the first match on the show too, which is bizarre. But special singles match Hideki Suzuki versus Suwama. And I believe this has a 60-minute time limit.
They better not
I
do that.
Well, who do you think's
I
winning
don't
here?
think Suwama can.
Who do you think's winning here?
I'm still thinking Hideki.
Yeah? You think they're gonna do
I
that?
because I think there because there is a story there with Hideki and Nakajima.
But is that something you could run back in all Japan and the fans there would care?
I mean, that is the risk, right? But they have been teasing it before when they teamed them up,
Yeah.
right? In Kurikan, where like Hideki lit. But again, like Nakajima came out through one entrance and then Hideki deliberately went to the other entrance in Kurikan.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I've been looking forward to this match actually.
No, I am looking forward to it. I'm just like, oh, if this goes 60 though, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be happy.
Yeah.
But I think, yes, if they keep that to like, I don't know, 15 minutes, I think they have a really good chance of this being a really great match.
I think this might be going 20 if they're putting it in first.
Yeah, I that's still fine. It's just it's as long as it's not a 60-minute time
Yeah,
draw,
I
I'm
know.
fine with whatever the outcome here is.
And then we got Shotaro Ashino, Kuroshio Tokyo, Japan, and Hikaru Sato versus Hartley Jackson, who's a late addition to the card because of the injuries, versus Hokuto Omori, Naruki Doi, Ren Ayabe, and Osama Nishimura. That could go anyway, I suppose.
That is also another like really random team.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so Ren Ayabe is actually booked for one more show then at the very least.
Yeah. And
So
then
if he takes the pin here, I think it's more or less safe that he's leaving, right?
yeah, we'll see. Yeah, for sure. Oh no, he's on some of the upcoming shows after, at least till the end of
Okay.
February.
Okay.
And then we got Ryuki Honda and Yuma Anzai versus Kono and Toshizo. I think we all know where that's headed.
Yeah. Obviously, Toshizo's gonna pin Yuma Anzai.
Yeah. Kento Miyahara and Rising Hayato versus Yuma Aoyagi and Asuki Aoyagi. That's an interesting match. I think one of the juniors is getting the pin here and challenging Dan.
I mean, challenging Dan, because again, if they're teasing Atsuki being in the Champion Carnival, wouldn't it make sense for him to pin Hayato here?
That's true too. We'll see. For the Gaora TV title, and this is third from the top, Seigo Tachibana versus Ryo Inoue. Is this a title change?
I mean, it feels like they only put the title on Tachibana because Black Manta Ray was leaving, right?
Yeah.
So I could actually see this be a title change. And they have been, like, at least for this year, they have been doing, like, a bit more of an effort to actually, like, push the Gaora TV title. So we'll see if that actually sticks or not.
Do you think that putting the Gaora TV title on Inoue instead of sticking him in the junior division actually could work against him?
I mean, what even is the Gerard TV title division? Let's be real.
Well, yeah. A bunch of random indie guys.
Yeah, and Jun Akiyama. That's like the legacy. That's like the title legacy.
Yeah. I don't know. I still think Tachibana will retain, but I can't
Roll
dismiss
out.
it.
Yeah. I mean, it might just be that the way they pivoted on the booking is that they just like give the entire like reign that they were gonna give to Black Manta Ray to Tachibana, and he just defends the title here.
Yeah. And then for the PWF World Junior Heavyweight Championship, Dan Tamura versus Fuminori Abe. Given this show, I hope this gets enough time.
Yes, there is actually a danger here, depending how long that Tsubama Hideki match goes. That this
Oh,
might
it's
get
8
not enough time.
including actress. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, well, yeah, maybe. Will this get 15 minutes?
I mean, but we did talk about it as well. But like, if this actually does get cut for time, like Abe is the perfect guy to do that with.
Yeah, for sure. That's true. But I mean, 12 minutes, I think they could really do something with.
Yeah. Although I feel like, okay, if they actually wanted to do something like the Kenta versus Ricky Marvin match, I think these two guys could actually pull that off.
Yes.
Where it's just this insane
Who's
5-minute sprint.
Who's gonna do the insane dive to the outside?
Abe, and then Dan Tamura is just gonna like drop Abe on his head with like a Death Valley driver.
Yeah, they could probably pull off something incredible for 5 minutes, actually. But I hope it goes longer than that. And then in the main event, Katsuhiko Nakajima versus Jun Saito for the Triple Crown. I mean, I just want to see what he can get out of Saito.
Yeah. I would have been, like I said, I was more excited about Ray because I
yeah.
do think Ray is the better of the two.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, this is even more of a challenge for Nakajima now, I guess.
I think it'll be good.
Yes.
But
with June, I think there is even more of a like inherent limitation than there is with Ray.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the crowd will pop for him doing the hair. So
yes, they will.
We will at least get that. And there's even less of a chance of Nakajima losing the title here.
Yes.
Because I already think Ray had no chance, but June absolutely definitely has no chance.
Yeah. And then we go on the 23rd to Okayama, to the Okayama Convention Center Convention Hall. And we have the World Tag Team Champion Tournament Advancement Team deciding match, which is Suwama and Hideki versus Ryuki Honda and Yuma Anzai.
Paul, yeah, we should mention that the titles got vacated.
Oh, the titles got vacated, yes.
Yeah.
You know who I feel worse for than All Japan?
Great.
Yeah. Because they had 11 defenses?
Yeah, that would have been like a really like career defining win for whoever would actually gonna beat them.
Mm-hmm. But no.
Yeah, it really sucks for them.
Yeah. So Paul, who's winning this one? This decision match for the go on
this
face
decision
Kento
match.
and Yuma.
I think it's Suwama and Hideki.
You think so?
Yeah, because I don't think they want to do because again, right, they were doing all of these time limit draws between Honda and Anzai.
Right.
And I do think the Saitos were going to lose the belts anyway to Kento and Yuma. So, I feel like again, because they were doing all of these time limit draws, that was building to something, so it doesn't make sense to put them into the decision match. So I think you can just put Suwama and Hideki in there, and they can just lose to Kento and Yuma.
Also, I was going to say, one reason why I think Honda and Anzai have no chance of winning the titles at all is because they're challenging for the KOD tag titles on March 17th.
Yeah.
And do you think they'll win those?
I think they might actually win, yeah, because I think they're going to redo the Saitos playbook.
Yeah.
Where they're going to have Yuma Anzai and Honda, where they're going to have New Period. Just run with those titles for a while to like build up credibility to then eventually win the All Japan tag titles.
Yeah. 6-man tag match, Kento Miyahara, Yuma Aoyagi, and Rising Hayato versus Ren Abe, Atsuki Aoyagi, and Dan Tamura. Kuroshio Tokyo Japan, Seigo Tachibana, and Yoki Yoshioka versus Jun Saito, Kono, and Toshizo. Shotaro Shino, Ryo Inoue, and ATM versus Naruki Doi, Fuminori Abe, and Ray Paloma.
Oh, apropos ATM, you see that Carbolito disclosed that.
Meeting.
Yep, they had a meeting. And I mean, it actually, the way it was like framed, right? It seemed like Carbel actually had some concerns about renewing the sponsorship, right? Like that's what I got out of that. And then basically they had a meeting with Fukuda to be like clear up some like confusion, and now they're like back on board, which I would take as a very positive sign.
Yes. Maybe he just browbeat Fukuda.
Yeah, it's like, you don't want to bring in all of these fucking, like, don't do dealings with fucking Simon and Oki, you know where this leads.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
But if ATM becomes a Triple Crown champion this year, well, we'll know what happened to that meeting.
Okay. I'm not sure if I would be it would be weird. Hey, we would actually have a masked Triple Crown champion in that case.
Yes. Singles match: Katsuhiko Nakajima versus Hokuto Omori. Paul, I don't like this.
No, this is weird. I don't know why they're doing this.
I mean, you could have
doesn't make any sense.
You could have absolutely main evented Korakuen Hall with these two in a Triple Crown match, I think.
Yeah. You actually built them up and everything. You could have done that as a title match as well, if you just want to give Nakajima another defense. And just doesn't make sense to do it as
and because I don't think
and in Okayama as well.
I don't know. Dropped the ball on this one, I think.
Yeah. I don't think it's like a momentum derailing move, but it's definitely
not
head scratcher
for Hokuto. Yeah, maybe kind of sort of.
Yeah, for Hokuto a bit as well, because like it's not gonna win.
Yeah. And he's just been spinning his wheels.
Yeah. I don't know what he does from here.
Yeah. And then which I assume might be the main event or semi-main, as Hikaru Sato triumphal return memorial special singles match. Hikaru Sato versus Minoru Suzuki.
I mean, makes perfect sense. The Pancras guy gets the Pancras guy, so yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
No, definitely. These two have good chemistry.
Yeah.
It should be
and
fun.
Suzuki will try more than he usually does against these guys. Like he does when he's against Hideki and stuff.
Yeah. No, there's going to be some good grappling coming out of this one as well.
So that's the show on the 23rd. The 24th, we go to Fukuoka at Acros Fukuoka. And then we got Kento Miyahara triumphant return commemorative 6-man tag team match. Kento Miyahara, Yume Aoyagi, and Asuki Aoyagi versus Jun Saito, Kono, and Toshizo.
I know that that's not the order here, but like that has to be the main event, right?
I would assume so.
Yeah.
Because we'll get to some of the other matches on this one. Shotaro Ashino and Dan Tamura versus Renai Abe and Fuminori Abe. That could be good. Kuroshio Tokyo Japan and ATM. He's working a few of these shows versus Towa Iwasaki, who's always someone that, again, All Japan should try to use more.
Yep.
And Ray Paloma.
The honorary member of Evolution. Never forget.
Katsuhiko Nakajima versus Ryo Inoue. That should be great.
Although that would be an indicator that he's not winning the Gyoro title.
Yeah.
Because it would be a champion versus champion, like a random champion versus champion match.
Well, they don't think that much of the.
True, but still, if you want to give any indication that Tachibana is gonna defend the title, that might be a good one.
And then we got Naruki Doi and Hokuto Omori versus Yoki Yoshioka and Seigo Tachibana. And then
actually, again, for thinking about what Omori might be doing, I mean, maybe he's the next challenger for the Gyoro title.
That's very possible. And then Suwama, Hideki, and Hikaru Sato versus Ryoki Honda, Yuma Anzai, and Rising Hayato. That could be a lot of fun.
Yep, that should be good too.
And then we go to so that's the show in Fukuoka. And then the final show on this Excite Series tour is February 25th at Kyoto KBS Hall. So why not have a big tag team title match in front of the beautiful stained glass windows? So it will be the World Tag Team Champion match, one with no time limit, obviously. So it'll be Kento Miyahara and Yuma Aoyagi versus the winner of the match on February 23rd. And you were saying Suwama and Hideki.
Yeah.
I don't think it's out of question of that Enzai and Honda advance, but they're not winning the tag titles.
No, and again, to me, that feels like a waste of this whole story that they've been building with these teams like constantly going to draws.
Yeah. So the business tag will win that one, I assume. And then we got
I because again, I think they were beating the Siders anyway.
So we have the loser of the decision match to get into the finals against Jun Saito and Kono. What a consolation prize.
I mean, again, whoever loses that match is winning this match. So
we got Ashino and Hokuto versus Jiro and Tachibana. So Carbell Ito has returning after 2 shows of ATM. So it's Carbell Ito and Rene Abe versus Ryuji Hijikata and Kazuaki Mihara. And then we got Katsuhiko Nakajima versus Atsuki Aoyagi, which I think...
I mean, it's interesting how many singles matches Nakajima's getting on this tour.
I don't quite understand what it is, but is this part of some sort of storyline? I don't
Maybe.
know. And then
it feels like there's something that we're missing here.
For sure. And then we got a junior special 8-man tag team match. We got Rising Hado, Hikaru Sato, Yoki Yoshioka, Fuminori Abe versus Dan Tamura, Ryo Inoue, Naruki Doi, and Brother Yashi. Wait, who
it's
is
Seiki Yoshioka, by the way?
Oh, I was
also like, wait, why is Yuki Yoshioka on all of these shows? And then I realized, no, wait, it's Seiki Yoshioka.
No, I didn't think it was Yukio. I thought it was some like indie guy from like Southwest Japan.
No, it's.
Then I realized, Seiki, I knew that.
Yeah,
well, it kind of takes my thinking of some of these matches into a different, right?
Yeah. No, now that it's Seiki Yoshioka. Yeah.
My mistake. So he starts on the 23rd. And then, so let me think here.
I still think Omori is winning that one because I feel like just looking at it, because again, then he's in another match with Tachibana on the Kyoto show as well, right? That just makes sense that maybe he's actually the one challenging Tachibana next.
That's an interesting idea, yeah. Do you think Yoshioka is going to challenge Dan?
I mean, you might as well do that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because again, we don't know how long he's actually in for, if this is like him actually coming in as a regular, or if this is more akin to like Koji Iwamoto, where he comes in, he has a run, and then he challenges for the title, and then he's out again. So I think it's enough credibility for that. And Dan versus like Yoshioka, that should be like really good too.
For sure. Although, I mean, for all we know, I was under the impression that Yoshioka was going to become a part-timer, but now he seems to be doing a regular freelancer.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's because like whatever like course he wanted to do hasn't started yet, so he actually has some time.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's definitely a weird situation.
So that is All Japan. Any thoughts going into these shows?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think the promotion is still like hot. I think it's a little less hot than it. Like, I think the Ray injury actually did take a bit of like wind out of the sails, but they're
agree.
Still on a hot streak.
Yeah, I think so. I think these shows will do well, and I think then it's like the build to March 30th at Oda Ward, which what Hideki versus Nakajima?
Yeah, I'm thinking that's Hideki versus Nakajima.
I think Suwama versus Nakajima is also enticing.
Yeah, you really can't go, like, to me, you can't go wrong here.
Yeah,
I mean, which is a great situation to be in, right?
Exactly. Okay, and then, well, here's the thing also. We usually get the Champion Carnival announcements on that Korakuen in February.
Mm-hmm.
Got any bold predictions?
Well, Davy Boy Smith wouldn't really count as a well, Davy Boy
No,
Smith
I don't.
Jr. wouldn't be a
No, I would not
bold
consider that
prediction.
one.
So any outsider, I mean, if we just at least want to give it at least some air, despite the fact that I think it's a bunch of baloney, there was the report out there in like monthly Puroresu about NXT guys in the Champion Carnival.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I just don't think that's credible at all.
No.
So
Especially
like
for
that
that
would be one,
long.
obviously.
We're
Yeah,
talking
exactly. It doesn't make like why
3
would they
weeks at
give them
least.
people from yeah, exactly. No, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Unless you just get some really low level guys, but then why would you even want those guys? That doesn't make sense.
So, wow. Yeah.
Although I would actually take Charlie Dempsey.
I would too.
I'm not gonna lie.
I would absolutely do that. Yeah.
If it has to be. But again, I don't think that's credible because they were just talking to Simon Inoki, who may or may not be out of the promotion now.
Someone from
But to be fair, Fukuda actually said that someone like offered to buy the promotion from him and he turned him down.
Oh, really? I missed that
Yeah.
part.
Fukuda in like an interview said that someone offered like to buy the promotion from him and he turned him down.
Well, depending on who it was, I might be angry that he turned it down.
I mean, if it was Simon Inoki, then I'm definitely happy he turned him down.
Obviously, yeah.
If it was like, I don't know, Rakuten, then I'm definitely like, what the fuck are you doing?
T-Hawk back?
T-Hawk, yeah, but that wouldn't be higher to Tamara, actually.
He's a champion, though.
He's a champion. Well, I mean, so was T-Hawk.
That's true.
Do we think there's going to be a New Japan guy in there?
No.
I think that's done as well. But a DDT guy.
Well, you know what my first response to that is?
Higuchi?
Yeah, of course. But it'll probably be like Toy Kojima or whatever he's calling himself now.
Yeah.
Toy or something.
I'll take Shunma Katsumata.
Yeah.
I'll take Mao. I'll take Endo. There's a bunch of guys in there. Like I don't think we're gonna get Ueno, but
no.
Endo actually I think would be an interesting one.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like MJ Paul.
Yeah. But
so I think my bold prediction would be okay, you know what? I'm just gonna say Tetsu. I'm just gonna say Endo. Okay. Endo is my bold prediction.
My bold prediction will be Higuchi then.
Yeah. That's a good one as well. Okay, for foreigners, but I can't even think of anyone because do
they want to
kind of like bled dry? You know what? Mike DiVecchio.
I don't have any bold prediction on a foreigner. I'm not sure they necessarily want to spend, and it would just be the usual. The people that we
Cyrus and like Davey Boy Smith Jr.
Yeah, those would be my leading choices. I don't think you're gonna get. I mean, I would love to see something like a Calvin Tankman or something, but I don't know if that's gonna happen.
No, and everyone else is signed.
Yeah, or it might just be not worth it. Just in terms of the yen right now.
Yeah, that's actually the other thing because it's like now like Japan has entered a recession as well, so like the exchange rate is gonna like crater even further.
Yeah. So
I might actually like go and just exchange a bunch of money for my next Japan trip now.
Well, I was just gonna say I know that's happening, but I'm also not like this is a doomsday because people always get very antsy about the slightest thing like that.
Also, by the way, the yen exchange rate falling doesn't matter if you live in Japan.
Well, some of your imported goods might be a little more expensive.
Yes.
Obviously.
So
but no, it's not gonna. I mean, there's other things going on. It's not gonna create or anything like that.
Again, that's always the thing where people are like, oh man, like it's so expensive in Japan. It's like, no, if you just eat Japanese food, it's not expensive. Yes, if you want to eat the same thing you eat at home, that's gonna cost you a lot.
Alrighty then. So we'll be back in about 2 weeks' time because we'll have some Noah shows to talk about, and then of course this sort of All Japan tour, and we'll know what's going on into March. We'll have a Triple Crown title match to talk about, and hopefully the Champion Carnival participants and everything like that. So for Paul, I'm Gerard, and we'll see you very soon.
Do you like wrestling trivia? Then check out the 5-Star Match Game, the Pro Wrestling Quiz Show. I'm Joe Gagney, and every episode, I grill 3 contestants with 5 rounds of power-packed wrestling trivia. We have over 30 evergreen episodes in the archives covering WWE, AEW, Japan, Mexico, and much, 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 much more. Play along at home and check it out today.